Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we tried to make sense of all those dusty corporate filings. Today we're diving into Soligenix Incorporated's latest report, and let's just say they've been busy making some very important deals. Now, this isn't tier-sprawling annual report filled with years of data. What we have here is a Form 8K, which is essentially a company-esque way of telling the public about big, important news that just happened and isn't already covered by their regular reporting. And for Soligenix, the big news is a significant fundraising effort. So, what is the story here? On the 25th of September 2025, Soligenix Incorporated, or SGX as they reknown on the Nasdaq Capital Market, made a deal with some investors to raise a chunk of money. They agreed to sell shares of their common stock, along with some warrants. Think of warrants as options to buy stock later at a set price. They sold these as units, with each unit containing a share or a special kind of warrant called a pre-funded warrant, and another warrant, a common warrant. The price for each unit of stock and warrants was $1.35. They also offered units with these pre-funded warrants, which are a bit different. Essentially, if you bought a unit with a pre-funded warrant, you paid $1.34 and a fraction of a cent. This is because the pre-funded warrant is already paying for a small part of the stock's value, the 1 cent exercise price. The common warrants they sold are good for 5 years and can be exercised to buy stock for $1.35 per share. This whole deal, this offering, wrapped up just a few days later on the 29th of September. And the outcome, a significant influx of cash, about $7.5 million before they paid their bankers and other costs. Why is this important? This money is expected to keep Soligenix funded all the way through the end of 2026. That is a pretty good runway, and the company says it is enough to get them through some important stages in their development. What will they do with this cash? They plan to pour it into their research, development, and efforts to bring their products to market. They'll also use it for general company operations, which could mean growing the business, making acquisitions, or paying off debts. Now, how did they pull this off? They hired an investment bank, AGP Alliance Global Partners, to be their placement agent. This is the firm that helps connect companies with investors. Soligenix paid them a fee of 6.5% of the money raised, which on $7.5 million is a pretty substantial amount. They also covered the agent's expenses, including legal fees and other costs, totaling around $90,000. Something interesting they did was adjust some older warrants issued back in May 2023, April 2024, and July 2024 that allowed people to buy over 1 million shares are being modified. The price to buy those old shares will be lowered to $1.35, matching the price of the new warrants. And importantly, they'll now expire at the same time as the warrants issued in this new offering. This streamlines things and likely prevents those older warrants from causing issues down the line. Beyond the financial deal, there is a bit of other news. Soligenix put out press releases on the 26th of September and the 29th of September to announce the offering and its successful closure. These are publicly available, so you can usually find them easily if you want to read the exact wording. Now, let's talk about what is attached to this report. You'll find the actual forms of the pre-funded warrant and the common warrant. These lay out all the nitty-gritty details of those agreements. Then there is the paper detailing the deal with the placement agent. AGP Alliance Global Partners signed on the same day they agreed to the purchase. And the big kahuna, the securities purchase agreement itself. This is the core contract that spells out exactly what Soligenix is selling, to whom, and under what terms. We also have the press release from the 26th of September announcing this whole fundraising effort. And finally, the follow-up announcement on the 29th of September, confirming that the deal is done and the money has been raised. And the report is signed off by no less than the President and Chief Executive Officer, Christopher J. Shaber. This shows the seriousness and top-level approval of this crucial fundraising event. So, what is the takeaway here? Soligenix Incorporated just successfully raised a significant amount of cash, about $7.5 million through a stock and warrant offering. This is a critical move for a company in their stage of development, giving them the financial stability to pursue their goals through the end of 2026. The deal also involved the modification of some older warrants, which is a smart way to tidy up their capital structure. Looking at this, Soligenix is clearly prioritizing growth and development with this funding. They're rebetting that the cash injection will allow them to hit important milestones and move their projects forward. However, like any financing, it comes with costs. The fees paid to the placement agent are substantial, and issuing new shares and warrants can dilute the ownership stake of existing shareholders. the extended lock-up period of 60 days where they can't issue more securities, and the 1-year restriction on variable rate transactions suggest a commitment to stability in the immediate post-offering period. The success of this offering indicates investor confidence in Soligenix's future prospects, but the real test will be how effectively they deploy this capital to achieve those key inflection points they mentioned. Are they on the cusp of a breakthrough? Will their products gain traction? This funding gives them the breathing room to try. Alright, that is our breakdown of Soligenix Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.